Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, some cadets are in lobbies, it seems.
No, co-host is there. He will make them inside.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Ah. Okay, boys and girls. Okay, good. Some good number has come inside. Yesterday we were discussing about the classical dances. Page number 128, 129, 30, 31, 32 and 34. We will leave it. Okay. You need not study them for your examination.
Which chapter, sir?
The chapter which we were discussing, that is about culture.
Making of regional culture.
Making of regional cultures. Page number 28, 29, 30, 32, 30, 31, 32, 33 and 34 till 134. From 128 to 134 we need not study. Okay.
Sir, 135 is there.
134 is not there. We will just discuss fish as food. Okay. Did you understand?
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
So you need not study that much part for your examination. In that you have to study only the classical dances, then Kathak, what is Kathak, then Rajaput traditions and Jagannath cult. That much only we have to study for the examinations. From page number 128 to 134 we are leaving it. Okay. I think we shall eat fish now. Ready? You are ready?
Yes, sir.
Some members are there who will not eat fish. Okay, no problem. Whatever it is, eating is our choice. Which we wish to eat, we eat. Okay, it is not a compulsory others should eat what we eat. Each individual has got his right to decide what he should eat and what he should drink. He should not disturb others, that is only. Should not create a problem for others. Okay. Why I have taken that? This part. You see, we are all human beings. When we live together, some of the things which we may not so much like, also we may do it. That is all. You see, the Bengali people, they eat fish. In a coastal area people, most of them they eat fish. Bengalis, Malayalis, Goans.
Because their main occupation is fishing only, no, sir?
Main occupation. The coastal area, naturally it is main occupation. And Bengal especially, Bengal has got two varieties of fish style. Means land or inland as well as sea fish. Sea fish taste is different and land taste or river water fish taste is different. There are varieties. In Bengal, traditionally Brahmins don't take any non-vegetarian items. That's their religious custom, they feel it. So, what has happened in Bengal? non-Brahmins used to go and tell to their friends, see, we had a fish, it is so tasty, it's very good, we were happy. And they used to explain in such a way that water would come to the mouth of the persons who hear it. So the Bengali Brahmins could not resist. So what did they do? They gathered together one day and they ordered an order that those Brahmins who wish to eat can eat fish. So it is created, that feeling is created by other members. They might have come and told, see, fish is so tasty, it is very good, and it's a natural thing, it is there in the plenty. Because in Bengal, Brahmaputra, Ganga rivers join in the sea. So naturally in that area so much fish would be there. So in the join, and there are varieties of fishes, river water fish as well as sea water fish. Both would be there in that area. And it would be tasty. So naturally the friends have told them about the taste of fish. So the Brahmins in Bengal, they met together and they are told of some kind of fish. They are vegetarian, they told, because they could not resist the taste they want to eat. So they made a resolution telling that it's some fish is vegetarian. We know no fish is vegetarian, but they want to make a statement. They want the people to eat, those who want. It is not a compulsory. They told those who feel, you are left free to eat. So that kind of decision was taken by the Brahmins in Bengal. We can see that. Traditional food habits are generally based on locally available items of food. If you go to central India, they eat more wheat. If you go to coastal area, people eat more rice. The reason, availability of the material. In the coastal area, rice cultivation is possible because water is plenty there. For rice cultivation, water is needed. So more rice they use, the people who are living in the coastal area. When you go interior area, water facility is not so much. So naturally, wheat cultivation is more, they eat wheat. If you come to Karnataka, in this area, people eat jawar roti. Others cannot.
Sir, Jawari roti.
Jawari roti, with jawar, you make it, javari. That is called jawari only.
In North Karnataka, it is really famous.
It is, and in North Karnataka, people feel tasty of it. And in North Karnataka, the people use chutney for that, and dry chutney. They don't even use for the people who are in a coastal area cannot understand it, because they make everything with water. Everything with water only. Water will be part of it. Here, rice also you make in northern Karnataka dry. They don't use much water. Why? Because availability of the water is less. Dry roti, dry chutney. This is because the people in this area during the summer season also they have to survive. So the climatical conditions of that area make them to. And the roti, dry roti can be kept for many days. They prepare it and keep for many days and they eat after. So they are very happy. Chutney and little curd is there. So they feel very tasty of that. That is the situation.
Sir, that is called Sajji roti, sir.
Yes. But you see, if you go to North India, they don't try that. They have chapati only. Chapati they make varieties, but you see that chapati is not dry like in Northern Karnataka. And you go to Southern Karnataka, there they use more rice. The rice, the chapati is there, but not like the Northern Karnataka dry roti. So every locality, every area, people prepare the food and use the food according to the availability of the raw materials and the climatical conditions. The water, drinking of water also is like that. taking bath. In if you go to Kerala, why the Kerala people use dhoti? Because sweating is so much. If you don't use, so if you might have seen the gents fold the dhoti and so that bottom part will be, the air circulation will be free. The climatic conditions. During the winter season, North Indian, if you go, they use a jacket, all those things. But that is not needed for South Indian people. So climatic conditions make the people, even food eating habits, dress code, everything according to climate. So that is what is told there. Traditional food habits are generally based on locally available items of food, whatever is available. In Kerala, if you go, then we make everything with coconut oil. That's a part of it, because coconut oil is plenty available as a taste for the people. But if you go to out of Kerala, people don't like taste with the coconut oil. So that's all. Our tongues have come to the taste which we have got in our younger days. And that will make a happy taste. Whatever other new things, okay, we may eat, but inside the mind or the will not be accepting every day. One day or someday we may eat. But our tongues are say, this is tasty, because we have got it tasted from our younger days. Bengal is a riverine plain which produces plenty of rice and fish. Understandably, these two items figure prominently in the menu of even poor Bengalis. Everybody eat rice. Fishing has always been an important occupation in Bengali literature. Contacts several references to fish. See, there's a beautiful picture there. A lady is preparing fish. She is cleaning the fish. So that is and she is well dressed. With that well dressed style, she is cleaning the fish. That's a natural behavior of the people there. Fishing has always been an important occupation in Bengal literature, contains several references to fish. What is more, terracotta plaques on the walls of temples of viharas depict scenes of fish being dressed and taken to the market in baskets. Dressing fish means not putting...
Sir, there are the only costly fishes or normal fishes also there, sir, in Bengal?
Yeah, very normal fishes also. Cheap fishes are also available. Costly fishes are available. Now also if you go, there are sea fishes which cost you 1,000 rupees, more than 1,000 rupees per kg. There are fish which cost 100 rupees, 80 rupees, 70 rupees in the market is available. Prawns and all those things. Some fishes are very costly. Because availability, the reason is availability, lack of availability. Catching is very difficult to them, big fishes. And there are...
in West Bengal, anyone can do fishing, sir.
Pardon, Ina?
In West Bengal, anyone can do fishing, sir.
Yeah, anybody can go for fishing. No problem. You can also go, take a hook and go for fishing. No, from anywhere, anybody can go. There is no restriction. But if you want to use a machine, means a boat in the sea, then permission is needed. License is needed to drive the boat. But using hook and fishing in your village area or near to the coastal area, no need anybody's permission. You can go and fish. That's permitted. Okay. Using hook. Some kind of, you might have seen. You can go through some videos. You might have seen how the fishing is taking place. It's very good habits. Enjoy, entertainment. We used to do.
Yes, sir. I have seen it in cartoon.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I have.
We have when we were young, we used to go for fishing. In our area, so many rivers and streams were available. We used to go for fishing. So it's part of it, our life. In our childhood, if you don't go for fishing, that would be a problem only. It's a part of it. We have studied in our 7th class starting time, the people in Samoa Island, you know. His civics we have studied, Samoa Island people, no? Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
There,
Yes, sir.
there in the civic, there is people are going for fishing. It's a normal behavior for them. If they don't go for fishing only, they say some problem with that child, they say. So for us, in my childhood, Lanson is a normal for us to go for fishing. We used to go for fishing.
In Kerala, sir.
Yes, so that's part of it. Then,
Sir, if the boat is ours, then there is no requirement of permission to do fishing.
we have to drive the boat into the sea. We have to have permission. We cannot take the boat simply into the seas. Like if you want, if you want to drive a car, see, car is yours.
Sir, but you can take boats in the river, no, sir.
To take the boat into the rivers for fishing, river area no problem. If you have sea, I think so. See, you have got a car, you have got a bike, but you can have a bike and car in your house. If you have to use it on the road, it needs a registration. Understand? Like that, boats also. And because government should know if something has happened, who is owner of it, how it has happened. All those things, there should be record. If
Here we have to
yes.
take permission, sir.
Yes. That permission is not a hard thing. Fishing departments will be there. They will give permission for that. No problem. It is not but it is a registration. It is information to the government department. How many students are studying in the schools? The government has got record like that. Government needs the record of all those things. That's all. Your vehicle, car, bike, cycles are not registered, but earlier there was registration of cycles also. Now, any car or bike has got number. So, who is owner of that vehicle, then with checking by the number, they are able to identify. So, that kind of things are needed. So, fishing also like that. Okay. Brahmins were not allowed to eat non-vegetarian food. But the popularity of fish in the local diet made the Brahminical authorities relax the prohibitions for the Bengal Brahmins. Only Bengali Brahmins have got the right privilege for eating fish. So they have done it.
Oh, sir. We are Mathini Brahmins. We also have got that.
Yeah, see, I told you, in medieval period, modern period, people eat whatever they like. There is no.
No, sir. In medieval period, also our ancestors used to eat that mutton fish, that all.
Yes. It's all, see, food item is left to each other. But there was a custom in Bengal. That's what is, I am reading what is in the book. Diet made the Brahminical authorities relax this prohibition for the Bengal Brahmins. The Brihadarma Purana, the 13th century Sanskrit text from Bengal, permitted the local Brahmins to eat certain varieties of fish. So they were permitted to certain varieties of fish. Now we will see the emergence of nation states in Europe. You know what is a nation state? India is a nation state. Before 1947, we were not a nation state. We were a group of people ruled by the British. A nation state means there should be some people living in that area. They should have some common history for the people. And they should have a common government. And they should have a governmental administration. There should be some rules and regulations. So that is a nation. A nation is a group of people living together. That they like each other. So they have come together. So, and state means there should be an administrative setup. Means a constitution, a king or a democratic setup of government to look after the administration. So a nation is a group of people. State means there should be an administrative setup. It may be a prime minister, it may be a king, it may be a dictator, it may be a president, whatever it is. There should be a system. So a group of people, they have got a system of administration and they have decided themselves, it is called nation state. So that is why before 1947, India was not called a nation state because we were not ruled by the people which we like. Britishers were ruling. They forcibly controlled us. So that was why it was now, and in European countries also, kings were ruling. Kings simply attacked and conquered other kingdoms. People had no share. People did not love their country as such. A patriotic feeling was not there. So when a patriotic feeling is there, that is called a nation state. Now let us see, listen, read what is written there in the textbook. Till the 18th century, people in Europe saw themselves as subjects of an empire. This is not a history, civics subject. Subjects means people. Okay, don't think history, civics, mathematics. It is a subjects means people. Just a subject. Subjects means that people who are living there, they have nothing to speak about administration. They cannot question the king. They have no role to play. That was a situation in Europe till 1789. First revolution in Europe, that is French Revolution. 1718, we will study in 9th class. French Revolution, the government, the people came out into the streets, removed the king and told they will have their own administration. That's the French Revolution. So, you know,
Napoleon Bonaparte helped in that, no?
pardon?
Sir, Napoleon helped in that, no?
Yes, yes, Napoleon is part of that. That we will study in 9th class. Okay. Such as Austro-Hungarian, yes, Austro-Hungarian Empire. Austria is an empire, is a kingdom now, a small kingdom in Europe. Austria. Its capital is Vienna. Hungary is another country. So, Austria, Hungary together were called Austro-Hungarian Empire. So, it was a separate nation, really speaking. Austria was a one nation, Hungary was one nation, but both were ruled by a single king. So, that is what.
Australia or
Not Australia. Australia is different and Austria is different. Australia is a capital, is a continent. Okay, it's a country near to America and it's a continent, Australia and New Zealand. These two countries joined together, we call it Australian continent. Austria, there's another country in Europe. It's near to France, near to Germany, near to Italy. A country is named in Europe, Austria. It was a very strong country during the in 1947, before the beginning of the First World War. It was one of the strong nations.
what is the current GDP and current situation of Australia, sir?
GDP.
And yes, sir.
GDP exactly, I don't remember. Australian GDP and so I don't remember. I have to check it and
But
tell you.
what is
I had to check it and tell you. I don't remember GDP, percent GDP of Austria. Capital is Vienna. There is a king is there, but democratic government. That's Austria. Okay. GDP,
also it is ruled by a king, sir?
yeah, king like Britain it is. It is ruled like Britain. There is a king, but there is a elected government also is there. Okay. Are the member?
Before independence, British ruled our country. That was monarchy or leadership, dictatorship, sir?
It is a monarchy, we can say. We were ruled by monarch. At that time, kings were there, but they had a government, elected government in England. Elected government was. Now also presently they have got elected government. It's a democracy. England is a democratic country. Only thing is,
Sir. Sir, in India, before 1947,
India was ruled by Britain and Britain was a democratic country. But Indian people had no power in the administration, no share in the administration. That is only. We were,
democratic country, sir.
Britain is a democratic country. Okay, it's a democratic country. We'll study further next year and 9th class, 8th, when you come to 9th class. So, okay. Austro-Hungarian are the members of the church, such as the Greek Orthodox Church. But from late 18th century, people also began to identify themselves as members of community that spoke a common language. For a group of people to consider themselves as a separate nation, they must have some common identity. It may be language. If that language is alone taken into consideration, India cannot be called a nation, because Karnataka only can be called a nation, Kerala only can be called a nation, Tamil Nadu only can be called a nation. That is not. It is not compulsory. There should be one language. There should be a feeling in the people that I belong to this group. That is important. So if we just strictly follow with the words of the nation state, India cannot be called a nation. So there is a common language. And one of the main reasons, why India is divided into 28 states or now 30 states, because of the language. When the beginning in the division had taken place on the basis of language, people felt that I want my language. That is the reason of it. Above that, we have got a country as a nation. We feel that India is our nation. People also began to identify themselves as members of the community that spoke a common language such as French. French is being spoken in France. German being spoken in Germany. By the early 19th century, Romania, there's another country named Romania, not Romania, Romania. It is written here Romania. Romania is another word used. Romania school textbooks began to be written in Romanian rather than in Greek. In India, earlier period, most of the books were written in Sanskrit. Education, earlier we had English only. Britishers were, before British language, that English became prominent in Europe, they were using Greek. There's another country named Greece. So the language of the Greece was important because ancient Greek civilization was ruling. That was the most prominent civilization in Europe, in the world even. So Greek language was important. English came after that only. After Greek and Latin, then only English came. This English is from Latin, base is from Latin. Like Sanskrit has got a base for many other Indian languages. And in Hungary, Hungarian was adopted as official language instead of Latin. These and other similar developments created unconsciousness among the people that such a linguistic community was separate nation. So, in India we have protest against languages. When government demanded to make compulsory Hindi as a language, there was a protest in India. So government has permitted each state to have their own languages. Now even most of the important examinations can be written in the local language. NEET examinations, JEE examinations, all they can write in their local languages. Question papers are allowed in those local languages because each individual, his mother tongue is important for him. These and other similar developments created a consciousness among the people that such a linguistic community was separate nation. This feeling was strengthened by the movements for Italian-German unification in the late 18th century. Italy and Germany became nation state by the end of 18th century. That is what we must understand. So, end of 18th and 19th century, German unification is. 1871 is the real German unification is completed. Italian unification also. These things we will study in 9th class. Italian unification, German unification, etc. Okay. So this is a topic that we have discussed. I told you only those three things only we must study in this chapter. Kathak, the classical dance forms, about Redayatra, then fish and the Brahmin.
This year in class 8 we will study about the new India, the British India.
I am very sorry, I could not understand. What did you speak?
So in class 8 we studied medieval India. In class 7, so in class 8 we will speak the modern India, na?
Yes, in class 8 we will have modern India. When we come to 9th class we will study world history. Okay, that is the way. 6, 7, 8, we study Indian history. Ancient, 7th medieval, 8th modern. When we enter into 9th class, we will get out of India, we will go to world. So we will study world history, 9th, and some Indian. In that world history means India also is included. Don't think that India is avoided world history. India is part of it, part of the world history. Okay? 9th.
Sir, in 10th also we'll study about world history, sir.
Yes, in 10th also we'll have world history. And Indian history also, little more concentration will be there in 10th. National movement will be more studied in the 10th class. Okay, so that is our. Okay, so in this, that many questions. See, what is Manipravalam? Name book written in that language that you must know. Who are the major patrons of Kathak? You must know. What are the important architectural features of that no need. Okay. Those things, question answers, those things are not needed for you. Only those first two questions you must know. Okay. That is needed for your examinations. Okay. We will enter into the 18th century political formations. Can anybody tell me when will 18th century start?
1700 to 1799.
Yes, 1700 to 1799 is the 18th century. Okay, in Indian history, we divide Indian history, or say modern Indian history, from the period of or the death of Aurangzeb, one of the most important Mughal emperors. 6 important Mughal emperors are there. First one is Babur, second Humayun, Humayun's son Akbar, Akbar's son Jahangir, after Jahangir, Shah Jahan, then Aurangzeb. These 6 Mughal emperors are important Mughal emperors. And Aurangzeb died in 1707. So, in the beginning of 18th century, 1707 he died. So, it is said from the death of Aurangzeb is the modern Indian history. If you go back to the world history they say modern age started with the fall of Constantinople. Means conquest of Constantinople in 1451 by the Ottoman Turks. That is a said to be divine. Please don't just think on the day, Mr. Morning, on this day the modern India started. Okay, 1707 morning when Aurangzeb died. That day onwards the modern age. No, it is just for a period we are mentioning. We cannot, it is a process. It is a continuation activity. Not one day morning, today onwards it is a modern age. But for understanding's sake, we have told a period. That's all. That is the 18th century. In European history, it is the 15th century. Around 250 years difference is there in the historical modern age, India and Europe. So, conquest of Constantinople in 1451 by the 53 by the Ottoman Turks. That has made the scholars, educated people in Turkey, that is Constantinople, to run away to European countries with the knowledge that was available to them. And they began to spread the knowledge. So that is a Renaissance, that we call it Renaissance, that is in European civilization. The world history we say. So in Indian history, Aurangzeb died. There was no proper administration in Delhi by the Mughal emperors. They are very weak. They could not control the administration. You know, it happens when the king or the head of the country is not able to look after administration well, there will be divisions and frictions and problems in the country. So that division and friction and problems create a division of India. Most of the areas of India was ruled by the Britishers when we got independence. How Britishers could come? Because Mughal emperors were very weak. You must understand, British government came in 1620 to India for a trade. Went to Jahangir to get permission. Jahangir permitted the British officials to meet him after third day only. First day even king did not permit him to meet. So that much power was there with the Mughal emperors at that time. They were very powerful. But after the death of Aurangzeb, Mughal emperors became very weak. And that weak situation of the Mughal emperors made the governor generals or governors in the different states of that time, we call it provinces, to declare themselves independent from the control of the central government. And they began to look after the administration. That is what we call it political formations. India was not a unified, single ruled country, ruled by many small kingdoms. Because of the division among the Indians, it was easy for the Britishers to capture India, defeat Indian rulers. That has made us to be under the control of British. So the political formations, each local units or state governments trying to look after administration. Because of their own administration, they became weak. That is what we are going to discuss tomorrow. Okay? Okay, students? We will discuss about
Okay, sir.
10th chapter 10, political formations. It will take a little time. No problem. Okay? I am going to prepare a question paper only. This is an important chapter because this will give you next year when you start to study informations. So we will discuss, we will go slowly, word by word. Okay, thank you. Bye.
You want, sir,
Huh?
sir, give one sample question. History.
Okay, I will give. Okay, time is up. Webex is telling please close. Okay, bye, see you. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.